This is, like we have mentioned, a 6-month series, basically talking everything marketing for real estate agents. So this first session we're doing with Desert Rose Studio. So Jocelyn Kramer and Logan Keurig are here to talk about branding. So that's going to be the focus of this mastermind. And this is a mastermind, so we do want to try and, get you guys to engage and ask questions and collaborate a little bit. And I'll let you guys kind of introduce yourselves too in just a little bit here, but we're really excited. Our next class is going to be next month, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. We have a really cool tool that we'll be going over. So we hope that you'll join us for future classes as well. But yeah, so let's go ahead and just get started with, who's putting on the mastermind and our presenters as well. Just so you guys are aware, we're going to record this. So after the mastermind is over, I'll send the recording, and Jocelyn and Logan have some resources and a presentation that we're going to send out afterwards. So you guys will have everything that you need to be successful and kind of do next steps after this is over. And of course, we're all here to answer questions, and they are amazing experts at what they do, so they're here as well. But we're really excited to get started. I'll kind of just start off with an intro to myself. So my name is Tiana, and I work over at Nova Home Loans in the Scottsdale branch, and I'm the business development coordinator here, but really I just do marketing. I work one-on-one with realtors all over the valley, just helping them to build their business through a variety of digital marketing techniques. And it's honestly amazing. I love the relationship building and making friends. I know some of you here, I've worked with you quite a bit the past few months, so it's so good to see your faces. But yeah, so I'm here if you guys ever need any sort of marketing help. My loan officer, Jason, might be coming on to do a little spiel as well. He is amazing. He's been doing loans for 16 years. He's a veteran, and he was just named like number 4 in the country, the Scotsman Guide for VA loans in 2019. So he is just awesome. So I love to meet you guys, and I'd love for you guys to meet my loan officer, Jason, as well. But yeah, so that's me. Sarah Touchstone, if you want to kind of give a little intro to yourself as well. These are our other sponsors from Landmark and also Old Republic Home Protection.
Hi, Tiana. Thanks for having us on today. I'm Sarah Touchstone with Landmark Title. I am our social media marketing strategist, which means I basically get to play on Facebook and do fun webinars and mastermind groups and the whatnot with Landmark Title, with our amazing reps. We've got Patty and Michael, who are our West Valley reps. And I also do a lot of corporate support as well. So I help our reps, but I also help our agents really take their marketing up to that next level. Video marketing is one of my bags right now. It's one of the things I love and enjoy doing so much. I love that I get to do it with Patty and Michael. They're such supporters of video marketing. And a lot of times they let me tag along so that we can just kind of collaborate and make the awesomeness happen. So I'm going to pass the puck over to Patty and Michael and let them actually give you a little bit more information on what they do with their agents.
Thank you, Sarah. And yes, I've learned a lot since I've been over here at Landmark Title with Sarah. So thank you. We are really big on video, and we just know that's so important right now, especially with digital marketing and with everything that we are going through. It's just a great way to continue to stay in front of your people, your clients, your database, and just a great way just to market yourself. Just want you guys to know I've been doing this for 20+ years, business development manager. Michael also works with me as well, and we're here to support you and just help you with any marketing that you need right now. We got some amazing tools with Landmark Title, so would love an opportunity to sit down with you one-on-one and just kind of go over what we have and how we can implement all those great tools. But not only that, just give you guys some great content and great ideas to help you grow your business as well. So just love that opportunity. We'd love to meet with you, and thank you so much for attending today. Wendy and Tara, you guys want to go?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Wendy Mueller, Old Republic Home Protection, and I have Miss Beautiful Tara Carter from our Scottsdale area. And we also have Yvette Meyer, who covers the Southeast Valley, and Sarah Geiger, who covers the West Valley. But what we really wanted to drive home today is our Platinum Protection Plan. It is $520 for just the Platinum Protection without the washer, dryer, kitchen, refrigerator. and it is the best plan out there. I'm telling you right now, I mean, your clients are crazy not to get that platinum protection plan, especially if the air conditioner breaks down. I mean, we all know that we've had a brutal summer, and everyone has been working from home and they're using their air conditioner, their appliances much more than ever. And our platinum protection covers up to $1,000 in modification coverage. And I know a lot of people say, who cares about modifications? Well, you're going to care if there's ever a replacement on an air conditioner, because there will be out-of-pocket costs that other warranty companies do not cover. And our platinum, again, covers up to $1,000 towards that. And we also have you covered on the R22 Freon. A lot of companies have put a dollar cap on that per pound. About $10 to $15 per pound is what they're paying. And the average cost of the R22 Freon is about $125 to $150 per pound. So it can get pretty pricey when there's 8 to 10 pounds of Freon in an air conditioner unit. And they'll need to refill everything up if there's a fan motor replacement or a compressor replacement. So Old Republic has you covered when it comes to the R22 Freon. Tara, did you want to mention anything?
Wow, that was a lot of information, Wendy. And yes, we do have the best plan in the industry. So thank you for that. I also just want to comment, and I'll put our website into the chat box. We have customizable tools. So this is going to also help you with your branding. You can upload your own logo and your picture. And so every affiliate partner on this group today, we really do have a vested interest in helping you grow your business. And that's what this is all about. So please check out our website, check out all the information that we can all help you with, because that's what we want to do. We want to help you sell homes. So you need us to finish out the transactions. So thanks for being on the call today, you guys.
Hey, thank you so much, you guys. So obviously we have amazing sponsors. These people are awesome people and so happy to be working with them. But yeah, so that is us in a nutshell, you guys. Let's go ahead and just get right into this. So before we start real quick, I would love to just quickly meet all of you guys, if you don't mind. So I'm just gonna kind of call you out if you just say like your name and like the brokerage you're at, kind of where you're at in the valley. That would be awesome. I'd just love to know you guys real quick. So let's start with Claudia. Do you mind starting and just kind of giving a little intro to yourself real quick?
Hi, good morning. I'm with AZ and Associates Real Estate Group, and I've been with them for 2 years. And I mostly work in the West Valley, but I'm open to travel anywhere. I know I've been all the way up to Casa Grande, Maricopa, Tonopah. So
Cool.
is that it? Is there
Yeah,
more information you need?
that's perfect. Yeah, quick intro. Thank you so much. It's so good to meet you. Cool. So let's move on to Ron. Do you mind just giving us a little tidbit about yourself?
Good morning. I'm Ron Gutierrez, and I'm with West USA Realty. I'm a brand new, 18 months in, new agent, and just looking to, learn more about marketing my business. I mostly cover the West Valley, but I will go into the East if I have a client, but mostly West Valley.
See, so good to meet you, Ron. Thank you. Let's do Bobby next, if you don't mind.
Hi, Bobby Herman with AZ and Associates. Hi, Claudia, by the way. I do mostly West Valley as well, but like Claudia, go to Maricopa, wherever you want me to go. And I've been in the business 16 years.
Nice. Veteran. I love it. Cool. Thank you so much, Bobby. Let's do Javier.
Hi, my name's Javier Olonio. I actually work in Tucson primarily with Keller Williams. I've been licensed about 3.5 years and super pumped to learn from Jocelyn and Logan.
Yes, just so you guys know, so Jocelyn, Logan, myself, Javier, Sarah Anderson, and Christoph Hill, we all go back. So we are good friends, and yeah, so it's so good to see you guys today. Sarah Anderson, you want to do a quick intro?
Hi, yes. Yeah, so I am actually a new business development coordinator for Nova Home Loans at their Phoenix branch. So Tiana connected me with the company and I've been on for about a month now. So just looking forward to learning a little bit more about real estate branding from Jocelyn and Logan as well.
Perfect. So good to see you. Christoph, do you mind giving a little intro? Oh, looks like he's frozen. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Debbie.
Hi, Debbie English with HomeSmart. I focus on the North Central Biltmore area, but like everyone else, we'll go wherever our clients need us. I've been doing real estate for about 14 years. I'm
Nice.
also an ASID interior designer, so I kind of marry the two skills and help fellow realtors with new floor plans if they have a difficult property, or just putting out a floor plan there if they need it for their property.
Awesome. So good to meet you, Debbie. Thank you so much. JJ, let's get a quick intro from you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm JJ Luna. I'm with HomeSmart. I'm primarily in the Ahwatukee, South Mountain, Levine area. I'm fairly new to real estate, so I'm really looking forward to see what you guys have to offer.
Cool. Thank you so much. So good to see you here. Looks like we have a few more. Yvette, do you mind giving us a quick intro?
Hi, I'm Yvette with AZ and Associates. I've been a TC for about 4 years, and then I just recently got licensed in March. So
Congratulations. That is awesome. Thank you. It's so good to meet you. Sean, do you mind giving us a quick intro before we start? Looks like he's still on mute. No worries there. Let's go ahead and do Carter. Do you mind giving us a quick intro?
Yeah, hi, Carter Heights. I've been in the business about 7 years, and like North Phoenix, North Scottsdale area, but I work all of Maricopa County.
Perfect. So good to hear your voice. I know it's been a little while. Cool. We have two more. Looks like we have two Nicoles. Let's do Nicole Turner first.
Hi guys, I'm Nicole. Sorry, I wasn't planning on being on a video this morning. But yeah, I am with HomeSmart and a newer agent as well, focusing on like the Central Phoenix area. But yeah, I'm glad to be here and hopefully, be able to learn a lot that can help me in my business.
Perfect. Yes, so glad you're here. Cool. We have one last one, Nicole Ranson, if you don't mind giving us a quick intro, and we will get right into it with Jocelyn Logan.
Sure. Good morning. I'm Nicole. I'm out in East Valley, primarily like Chandler, Gilbert, that area. But obviously, like everybody, I kind of go everywhere. I'm with Mountain Stage Realty, and I've been in the business for only about 1.5 years.
Nice. Love it. Well, thank you so much for being here, all of you guys. Let's go ahead and get right into the good stuff. So today we have Jocelyn and Logan from Desert Rose Studio. They are local, I believe. You guys are in like are you guys in the Uptown area?
Yes, yeah, like Central Phoenix area.
Yes, that's what I thought. So yeah, they just opened their business recently and have just been killing it, you guys. They are branding experts. They work with a ton of local businesses, and I think even businesses kind of all over the country as well. And they do branding photography, all kinds of design. So they are just creatives to their core, and I'm so happy they could be here today. So let's go ahead and kick things off, you guys.
Yay! Okay, we are very excited to be here. Thank you so much for joining us. And Tiana, thank you for having us. We have a lot that we want to try and cover in our time. So we're just going to get right to it. Quick introduction. We're Logan and Jocelyn. As you know, we started our business in summer of last year, really focusing on brand photography. But as you get into brand, anything, you kind of dive into social media and brand design and personal branding. And so we've pretty much covered all of those bases in the last year and a half. And so really excited. I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that I can show you my presentation. Tiana, are you able to enable host attendee screen sharing?
Yes, I think Sarah will take care
of it. Okay. Okay, there, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. Okay. Cool. Let's dive in, you guys. Okay,
Everyone can still hear us?
Yeah, right. Thumbs up. Okay, cool. Let's dive in. Personal branding. Okay, so in a post-COVID world, none of us really know what that's going to look like. So personal digital presence is going to matter more than ever. So how are you going to stand out against the other realtors in your area? If a potential client is Googling your name or looking you up on Instagram, what are they going to find that is going to make them choose you over the competition? So it's not just about creating a good first impression these days, but a lasting impression. You really want that first touch point with a potential buyer, client, customer, whatever it is for you. You really want them to remember you for something. So they can't really do that unless you really know who you are and what you're selling and what your niche is. So just keeping in mind that personal branding is the visual language that you use to communicate and connect with who you're selling to. So that's super important, visual language. So what is that? That's like your design elements, it's the overall aesthetic and vibe of your personal brand, perhaps colors. Everything has to be very intentional and be very cohesive. So it also gives you credibility. It's cohesive personal branding across all of your platforms, from your LinkedIn photo to potentially your Instagram or your YouTube, what other platforms you're focusing on. Being super cohesive across all of those platforms just really communicates to your audience that you're invested in yourself, you're confident in your abilities, you're dedicated to your business. You want all of those things to really come across as soon as they come across you. So that is super important to keep in mind. So that brings me to knowing your niche. So who do you serve? If you're just advertising to anyone and everyone without really narrowing in on a specific audience, you kind of run the risk of, like, what's the phrase? Throwing a pin in an ocean or whatever, like kind of just, you're out for everyone and anything. And if you really niche who you're marketing to and solidify that in your brand identity, it's a lot more effective to talk to, or I guess advertise yourself to, like 1,000 people who are looking for exactly what you're selling than just putting out the word to anyone and everyone. So this brings us to niche. There's a lot of reflection and exploration that needs to be put into this, because if you, for example, want to be listing more expensive properties, or you want to brand yourself as an expert in a specific school district, you need to kind of redefine your niche and establish that audience. You definitely can't make choices on personal branding, like your design elements, your logo, all that, without really knowing who your audience is. So you definitely need to establish that day one. So what I would recommend for that is to target specific markets. Pick 2 to 3 target markets in a variety of verticals, from location, home type, demographics, to build your personal brand around. So pick 2 to 3 markets. I really like the idea of picking maybe like one in the demo, like Gen X, newlyweds, millennials. All of these decisions as well is really going to inform what social media platforms and what you use to market yourself. So all of this goes into that. You really do have the ability within yourself to create whatever career you want, but you just have to really make sure that it's aligned with where you want your business to go. How far do you want to go? What also rings true to your current expertise? Every choice just needs to be intentional, and that's really the biggest thing. Being intentional with your visuals, your messaging and voice when you write captions or copy. all of that will also help you inform your content and design choices, and just really let your audience know what you specialize in. So you can also use hashtags to target these demos if your strategy is Instagram. We can get into that more in depth when we talk about content strategy, because that's really its own monster, content strategy, after you kind of figure out your personal branding. So pick 3 or so target markets, go after that full force, make that your specialty, and really just market it in that way. And one way I really love to help visualize your niche and give you insight into who your buyer is to create buyer personas. So build 5 to 6 buyer personas, which this, for those of you that don't know, it's like a customer profile that you create. It's a totally fictional person based on demographics, income levels, what are their motivations. So who embodies your ideal customer? So make 5 or 6 kind of these like fictional characters, give them a name, give them an age. Do they have kids? Are they married? It definitely seems like a lot of extra work, but narrowing in on a smaller group of specific people, like I said, is just going to have a better return than trying to speak to everybody. This will also really help you identify pain points and give you an opportunity to think about what you can help that person solve. So narrowing in on a niche, targeting a market. This is just an example of a buyer persona template that you could use just kind of as an example to get an idea of what you do need to put together. Another reason this is really helpful, because as you can see down here, figuring out what brands they're shopping, what publications they read, what part of the internet do they hang out on, that is going to help inform you what platforms, what social media you should be putting your time and attention. So if you're, for example, if your niche is like empty nesters or retirees, I probably wouldn't spend much time in TikTok. You know, that's probably not going to be where they're hanging out. So just keeping in mind your buyer or your client or your customer, whoever you're selling to, what part of the internet are they hanging out? Creating these buyer personas will really help you visualize exactly who you're speaking to, so that you can use that when you're designing graphics for Instagram or whatever you're putting together for your personal brand. So,
and this is all based on your expertise and your aspirations of, like Jocelyn said, where you want to take your career. So this is honing in on what you specialize in and what your expertise is, and then basing it around the problem you'll be solving for your ideal client or customer.
And always keeping in mind, just aligning it with who you truly are authentically. If you try to kind of put on a personal brand that is really unlike who you are maybe in real life, like maybe you're, you have a family and you love working with families and helping families find their dream home, connect more with families, do the thing that you actually like to do, connect with who you actually want to surround yourself with, and niche in what you really want to be doing, because all it takes is marketing for you to pretty much do whatever you want. Okay, so with that said, once you figure out your niche and your personal goals, who you're selling to, you can start to make those kind of more fun decisions, like your logo and colors, and how to visually translate your personal brand in order to connect with those demographics that you're targeting. So an easy way to start there, I know it's a lot of work, it's a lot of kind of extra on top of your job, that it kind of feels like it's its own job, but it is worth it to go through this process and to build this strong foundation, because it will be long lasting. Like, it is going to help you so much. It's actually going to make everything like content strategy and content creation down the road easier once you have these things to pull from. So I always recommend starting with brand adjectives, picking like 4 to 5 adjectives, brand words that really define who you are, what you're trying to get across. Look up descriptive adjectives for inspiration, or just think of words that you want your demo to think of as a first impression. So whether
Joss, real quick, what would you say are your guys' brand adjectives?
So we've kind of talked about this a lot, but I would say right now we're modern. I think that we are for a modern brand, like our services, because not a lot of people put this much money and energy, I guess, into marketing. And to us, that's like the first thing you should be putting money into. So not a lot of people have that mindset, but modern for sure.
Timeless.
Timeless. What are the other ones? Approachable. We have a whole thing. We've made ourselves like a brand kit, and that's something that we also put in brand kits for other people. So whether your word is approachable, trustworthy, modern, bold, luxury, just kind of think about the vibe that you want to exude to the people that come across you. So what are the pillars of your personal brand? And then with that information and your demographic information, you could either pass that off to a graphic designer who could then form the visual identity for you, or you could go the DIY route, which is honestly not as hard considering all the resources and tools that there are nowadays. It's really not as hard as it used to be to go the DIY route and design your own personal brand. So I'm going to share some of my favorite resources with you guys for building your personal brand. But I do want to say, between, like I said, colors, fonts, graphics, but even when you get into like designing your letterhead, building your business cards, creating maybe print marketing materials, social media banners, all the way down to the client thank you cards or potentially housewarming gifts that you leave, everything should be on brand. So just every single thing that you put out there, everything that is going to be a customer client touch point, it should all be speaking the same language. So once you come up with your brand adjectives, my next favorite thing to do is create a mood board. And so obviously I am a huge fan of Pinterest. For those of you who haven't heard of it, I don't know who hasn't heard of it, but Pinterest is our go-to. It's what we use to create all of our branding elements in terms of inspiration and mood board. So look up, perhaps if one of your words is luxury and you just don't know really where to begin with like a luxury mood board, just look up luxury branding and you will find a lot of other people's ideas, even if it's just to get an idea of color trends and see what kind of rings true for you as well. Compile all of that inspiration, save it in a mood board to always be able to refer back to. You can also use Pinterest as a search engine, as well as a tool to market your own material. So Pinterest really is just Swiss Army knife.
I don't know how many of the guys in here think that Pinterest is only for girls, but I'm telling you, like, it's a great place to just gather all of these visual elements that are going to help you envision the direction you want to go with creating your personal brand. It's extremely helpful.
Yes, we love it. So that is our first stop for sure. After that, we recommend creative market. So once you kind of get the idea of the colors, of the vibe, of the visual, all that, we love Creative Market because it is a marketplace for graphic designers to sell their templates, their custom hand-drawn fonts, graphics, and so many other things. So you can literally get anything from a pre-designed logo to a website template for like Squarespace, Shopify, WordPress. Etsy also does this too. You can purchase stuff like this on Etsy, but we always find way more creative, cool stuff on Creative Market. So
yeah, Instagram story templates.
Oh my gosh.
Post templates. They really have it covered.
Really helps. Yeah.
Sorry guys, do they have Canva templates in here too?
Yes, they have Canva templates, and that is going to be what we talk about next, because Canva saves lives. Canva is literally, let me tell you about Canva, you guys. So Canva, so easy. Yeah, we made this presentation in Canva. It's just the best. It has every element you need. It has a million templates to where you can either, if you don't know like the aspect ratio that an Instagram post versus a Pinterest pin versus a social media banner, if you just don't know those numbers, you can just search it and it has everything saved in templates for you. Like you can even see here, yeah, like logos, Facebook covers. And now they're diving into animated social media, which we love. And really modern video content, yeah. Tons of stock photography. Honestly, could go on and on about it, but I won't. But it really has made designing and content creation so accessible and user-friendly. You don't need to know how to use Photoshop to really create beautiful mock-ups, beautiful graphics. Like we said, thousands of templates, graphics, stock photography. And then we recommend Canva Pro. If you're doing kind of the DIY route with your brand, it is so helpful because you can go into Creative Market, purchase a commercial license to an awesome font that not everyone has, and you can upload it into Canva, save it in a brand kit, as well as your color palette that you come up with. So it really is just a great tool to bring everything together. And if you pay for Canva Pro, you never have to pay for additional graphics, like maybe icons for highlight stories, which we love using Canva for. Yeah, Canva all the way, guys. Canva all day. My other favorite tool is a social media planning app. So if you're doing everything on your own and you're not the kind of person that really wants to every single day be like managing social media, checking in on engagement, like planning your posts, writing caption all day long, it really is so time consuming. So I've used both Plan and Later as far as social media management apps. So those are the ones that I can attest to. I like Later, or I like Plan for visual planning. So I like to actually see all of the posts and pictures that I am planning out before I post so that I can kind of be in control of the aesthetic of the feed, because obviously as like branding designers, aesthetic is kind of our first thing we look at. But Later and Plan both have great strategy planning for content. So either one will help you manage your content and schedule it out ahead of time. So the idea is with this is that you would just take like 2 to 3 hours one day and schedule out like maybe 2 weeks worth of posts, figure out the captions, figure out the hashtags, plan it ahead, and literally set it and forget it. And that makes it just really, really easy long term.
Hey Joss, real quick.
Yeah.
I've used Later before. I know they have a free version, but does Plan also have a free version as well?
Plan also has a free version. The only thing with Plan right now is that there's like an audit with Facebook, and so they have a bit of an outage in terms of connecting it and actually posting it directly from Plan to social media. So I guess Later would be the one that I would use now, especially if you want to schedule posts. But Plan, yeah, they have a free version. I think even the paid version is $9 a month, which I pay for because you do get to post more. You get like 30 a month, I think, with free, like 30 posts, but we need more unlimited because we're starting to manage other people's social media now. So we're needing to turn it up a notch. And I know that not everyone will want to utilize Instagram, which is as long as you're still working to grow a community on other platforms like Facebook, blogging, YouTube. We'll get into video content too, like Sarah was saying, so important these days. So that gets us into ways to market yourself. So once you have a cohesive and focused identity that is speaking the same language from the social media and other digital advertising platforms, it's just really going to make a huge impact and lasting impression to be cohesive. And once you discover who you're selling to, you can really focus your time and attention to these specific avenues. So where is your niche hanging out? Like, what do you think is going to be most worth your time? So I would pick 2 to 3 marketing platforms based on what makes sense for your niche. And definitely don't underestimate the power of new media like TikTok, if it makes sense for you. YouTube, honestly, is only going to grow from here. We are definitely seeing a trend of less and less photos, more and more videos, especially live videos. People love live video. I personally could never. I cannot with live video, but just give it a try. Just dabble perhaps in live video.
For real estate as well.
For real estate, you could do, I've thought about this, like you could do live like home showings so that people don't have to leave their houses. They can ask questions like in real time. You can be actually connecting with your audience like in the moment without ever having to meet up. It's great.
Yeah, I've seen Javier do it.
Yeah, a lot of people
it's just a great way for people to get that viewing without actually having to go to the location.
Do polls, do Q&As. Instagram stories has so many great interactive elements that you can actually like ask your audience like, hey guys, what do you want to see? And then they tell you and then you deliver that. So I definitely recommend kind of just deep dive, do a little dive
Great
into
way
new
to
media.
connect.
Yeah.
Great way to connect with your.
Hey guys, real quick. So we had a question about plan and later. On the topic of videos, can you schedule videos through those platforms?
I believe you can schedule any post, including carousels and videos. I will have to double check with Plan because, like I said, they have like an outage because of a Facebook audit. So I don't actually know that you can do that at this moment in time with Plan.
Gotcha.
But I have done like boomerangs, which is essentially a video.
Right.
Via later. So I would imagine that you could do longer videos as well.
Okay,
Who wants to say yes?
Perfect.
I'll have to double check.
That sounds good.
Don't pin me to that, yeah. So for ads as well, I definitely would recommend, don't be a little afraid to put some ad spend into Facebook ads, especially since many people during this time, I think, are probably cutting marketing spending. It might just be the perfect opportunity for you to stand out. A well-done Facebook ad that has a really targeted audience and helps solve a problem can be extremely effective. Another great way to market yourself is blogging. I love blogging because you can come out with neighborhood guides, infographics, helpful content that then you could boost with keywords for SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, and that is going to help you rank in Google. And if someone's searching something, you want your stuff to pop up, so then it just brings more awareness to your personal brand. Also with a blog, you can create a presence for ebooks and e-courses that you could make passive income with. So just thinking about platforms that you could not only potentially make passive income with, but really connect with your audience. I love blogging because you can optimize everything on Pinterest. And I know several people who have said that Pinterest accounts for like 92% of their leads and like website traffic. So Pinterest is crazy successful, just depending on the type of content. Again, it needs to be helpful to someone. If you think about it, everyone is kind of selfish in that they want to follow someone because they're getting something out of it. Like it's helpful or it's entertaining or it's inspiring, which I'll get into the pillars of content a little bit more later. I do just want to touch on emails. My favorite, if you guys have not heard of this, Flowdesk for email marketing. MailChimp is really popular. ConvertKit is really popular. Flowdesk literally came out within the last year, and it makes it so easy to build a really well-designed and on-brand email for email marketing.
It's like the Canva for email marketing.
It's like
they've really revolutionized it.
They have templates. They make campaigns really easy. They make segmenting really easy. So I love Flowdesk. I shared with Tiana a link that I have that everyone who signs up with this link can get 50% off of their subscription for the lifetime of their subscription. So for as long as you have Flowdesk, so 50% off forever. So that brings it to $19 a month for all of your email marketing needs, which is great. We love it. We have it. We use it. It's our favorite. And then once you kind of figure out where you want to market yourself, it's time to dive in with content. And that is everyone's favorite and least favorite part, I think. Because I think a lot of people perhaps overthink, like, is this worthy of posting? Like, is this just going out to nobody? So always, 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 the thing that you should be returning to and considering is this post educational? Is it inspiring? Or is it entertaining? And if it's not any of them, it might not provide any value to your audience. And you just have to think about what value you can provide as an expert in your niche. So with that, content creation is very time consuming, but Instagram is our largest lead generator because personally, like for Desert Rose Studio, because there's a lot of different content strategies that all get different results just with that one platform. So for example, posting something from our portfolio gets us a lot of inquiries that day. Posting a funny graphic that we made in Canva creates relatability, and it also encourages people to save our content. And saves on Instagram are now way more valuable than engagement. Like vanity metrics, like likes and comments, are definitely not as valuable as saves, because saves, I mean, it's literally, they're saving a piece of your content into their profile to return to later to find. So definitely stuff that would encourage people to save your content is always more valuable than just like that quick like at the beginning that may not actually do anything for you later. So come up with a strategy that is sustainable for you to maintain is the other thing. Don't put too much on yourself to where you're super overwhelmed. You have like 6 platforms you're managing. You're trying to crank out all this content and it's just leading up to nothing really. So just really be intentional with where you want your time to be spent and what platforms you want to spend. So another thing you could do is search on Pinterest for post ideas. There's also a lot of way to recycle content. So this is in plan. You can plan out your content by content strategy instead of visually. So, okay, I'm going to post a testimonial and then maybe I'll post a picture of like our local farmers market or a farmers market in a neighborhood that I want to be an expert in, or I want to start advertising that I am like an Arcadia neighborhood and expert. And these are the things that you can do in Arcadia this weekend, you know?
Good family oriented stuff if you're targeting new families or.
Yeah, just always thinking about that and who you're talking to, and look into those buyer personas, look at those fictional people in the eyes and tell them what they need to know. So yeah, inspiration, you could do like a before and after of a kitchen remodel, behind the scenes, you like cleaning up a house or staging a home, whatever it is. I don't, you know, everyone does different things.
Get more in depth about your journey and how you got to this point and your expertise.
Yeah, and if you open up a little bit, you don't have to be like super vulnerable on socials, but if you do open up a little bit and just say like, hey, I am like having a hard time. This is really difficult these days. Like, how are you guys doing? Like connecting with people and just treating them like people and not just like a customer.
Relatability.
It's really going to make a huge difference also in the engagement that you get, because people are going to want to engage with your content. So thinking about just all the different types of strategies you could put in place when you're creating content, super, super important. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is just maintaining your personal brand. Like once you figure out everything, once you figure out who you are, what your goals are, what part of the internet you're going to really focus on, the most important thing is growing a following that is specific and niche, but wants the kind of content that you're posting. And you can only maintain that by being super authentic, being super consistent, being true to yourself. If you can't be consistent in the frequency and like, okay, I can't maybe post every other day, but I maybe could post like every Wednesday and maybe it's a helpful tip. And so people will start to know to expect tips from me on Wednesdays, or maybe I do a showing every Monday or whatever, just whatever works for you, whatever is sustainable for you is great. And also there are plenty of ways to recycle content. So you could take one blog post, cut it into a caption for an Instagram post that you could then automatically share to Facebook, and create a graphic in Pinterest to optimize it for Pinterest, on Canva to optimize it for Pinterest that then could link to your blog. And then you could send an email newsletter with a snippet of the post and a link to your Instagram. So you can literally take that one blog post and put it on every single platform that you're focused on, and just, it's like a one and done at that point. It makes it super easy. So always cross-reference your platforms so you maintain complete control of that narrative and of your online presence. And as you narrow in on the kind of content you produce and you get it down more consistently, you're going to grow a lot quicker than you think you will. That's really all it takes.
And your following will be like extremely specific for you,
right?
And what they're looking for from you.
It's not just, you're not just trying to get follows or whatever from everybody. You're trying to get exactly the people who you would convert as a customer. So this is the master checklist. You got to pick your target demos, create buyer personas, 5 to 6, design a brand that appeals to your ideal customer. And it doesn't even have to be who your main customer or client is right now. It's who do you want to serve. Market to your audience based on what part of the internet they hang out. Pick 2 to 3 platforms and just like really go ham on them, and then remain consistent and authentic to yourself. And it's going to be sustainable and long lasting and set you up for success and make it really easy. And I'll just want to mention that we are offering $100 off our branding services and design services. So if you book by the end of the month with us for anything, and you'll solidify that rate. Even if it's for a future project, if you book by the end of the month, we'll honor that rate. And that is all we have. Open for questions.
Yes, you guys, that was amazing. Such great content. A lot of stuff in there that I was just like, hell yes, hell yes, hell yes, like hitting the nail on the head. And I'm so excited to jump into some of the tools that you guys mentioned, because I have used many of the ones that you mentioned, but I have not used Flowdesk or Creative Market, and I'm really excited to look into that stuff as well and share those tools with the realtors I work with and show them how to use it. So guys, right now, do you have any questions to ask Jocelyn and Logan? Feel free to unmute yourselves and ask, or even just throw it in the chat. But yeah, they gave us a lot of stuff. So yeah, please feel free to just hit us with any questions right now.
It was a lot. I know. It was a lot of information in a short amount of time.
Yes, great. Anyone? I can start us off. Actually, I do have a question. So I know that a lot of the realtors I work with, they may have thought about starting their own personal brand, and maybe like started with like a logo, but then really kind of it tapered off and it wasn't, a huge priority to them. So what would you say is maybe the negative side or disadvantage of like not establishing a brand, if there is any?
Honestly, there is. If you don't establish the look that you want to get across, and if you don't even know what that is for yourself, then you run the risk of like confusing your audience. Like you could be putting out a type of content, or with maybe even it's just the caption. It's just like, oh, it's two things. It's either you're going to confuse them and be like, oh, that's not the usual kind of content that I've like come to expect. And it's just kind of like, oh, I'm posting just to post because I have nothing else to post. And it's, I want to stay in contact with my audience. But you either run the risk of confusing them or of never getting your audience to understand who you are and like what you're selling.
Especially in an age where we are definitely moving more digitally and like even towards virtual reality. Yeah. But I mean, there is the saying like, don't judge a book by its cover, but if you're offering a service or an expertise to people, you have to look credible, you have to be professional, approachable, you have to look
the part. Jakes.
Boom. Exactly. I totally agree. Cool. Okay, we have some questions. So first one from Sean, can we hire you to do it for us?
Absolutely. Yes. Use that $100 off.
If you really are like, do not have the time for this, at the very least, put together your niche, your demo, put that all together, email it to us, and we'll do it for you.
Yes, and their contact info is right here, you guys. And like I mentioned before, I'll be sending out a follow-up email with all of their information, all of our sponsors' information, all the resources that they provided, including this presentation, so you guys have everything. Cool. Next one from Sarah Anderson. Do you have any favorite photo editing apps or software? And then let's hit on like more budget-friendly ones too.
Yes. So in terms of apps, really easy for like maybe iPhone photos. I love VSCO. I'm a VSCO girl for life. Technically for kind of our more professional work, I need to use Lightroom just because I need to do that to make it look commercial and whatever. But for like iPhone, easy, user-friendly, VSCO I love. It has a lot of, honestly has so many presets and filters you can use. I also love Unfold, which is for Instagram stories. You can pretty much create like really clean, professional stories where you can upload photos. It has a bunch of templates basically for you to like photo share on stories. So you could do definitely like home stuff.
Awesome. And are those apps free, or do they have like a paid version for more features?
There's a paid version on both of them, but they are free. The free Unfold honestly like does go a long way. Or the thing is you pay each individual template, like maybe you don't want all of them, so you don't want to pay for the monthly or whatever, but you like a couple of them. It's like $1.99 for like a whole collection of templates for stories. So it just depends. But in terms of like free, like Canva, you can make your own templates. Or if you want them to look like really branded, you could purchase on Creative Market templates. But then other photo apps, I would say VSCO. Even the Tezza app, I almost like hate to say it because some of the filters are a little intense, but Tezza app for photo editing
especially
is
for
very
video
good.
too.
Especially for video, because not a lot, well, Visco just now is doing this, but not a lot of photo apps let you edit video. You have to like have special LUTs, they're called, for that. But Tezza and Visco both, you can edit videos in, which is really helpful.
Perfect. Cool. That is perfect. Next question. This is from Nicole Turner. How do you recommend getting more comfortable with video?
This is something that even I struggle with. I would say that the more you do it, the better you get at it, and kind of the less you do it. I would even say for Instagram stories, it's important a lot of the time to kind of get that FaceTime and do that selfie video, talking to, you know, your following as if they're a good friend, like, hey guys, what are you up to today? You know,
just kind of have to take that plunge.
You kind of have to
start figuring out your formula, start figuring out what works best for you. It's going to take that vulnerability for sure.
I will say the more that you do it, the more comfortable you are doing it. And if I go like a couple weeks because I'm busy, like not doing a story where I'm talking to camera, I get very uncomfortable and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like how vapid is this? Like this just feels so wrong, but so right. No, it's worth doing for sure. You just got to practice, honestly. Yeah.
It's all about the consistency, baby. You gotta you gotta let go of that fear and just go balls to the wall.
we've definitely started like really trying to get in tune with trying to create more video content recently. So we're working on that.
Pictures aren't doing it for people anymore. People want the video, so.
They want that raw stuff, man.
Even GIFs too, just like
just like animated, anything moving. People's attention spans, like they can't even like look at a photo and read the caption. They're just like, tell me what this is, or I'm on to the next. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So
I feel
practice makes perfect. Give it a go.
Perfect. Next question we have is from Javi. How do you determine what to post on your feed as opposed to your story? What's the differentiation there?
So it'll go a few ways for me. I'll look at a post that I want, and it's either it doesn't fit. I'm very visual. If it doesn't fit in aesthetically on the feed, I'll probably just kick it to the story.
Just like the photo of the content strategy we had of like the grid of your iPhone, of your Instagram profile.
Yeah, if it doesn't fit in the grid, I probably would put it to the story. I also probably would only put it to my feed if I'm hoping people save it.
That's how you should be separating it though, right? It's like you want your feed or your page to look more aesthetically pleasing.
More on brand.
Instagram stories are a place to
get loose. Take off the makeup, you know. Show them who you are. Show them who they are.
Get more personal and approachable, especially with video content.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I totally agree, you guys, 100%. I always say like behind the scenes, like more.
I was just gonna say,
like day-to-day stuff, definitely for the story. So I totally agree with you guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Do we have anything else? Debbie, I dropped the apps in there for the photo editing, so you guys should be good in the chat. Anything else, you guys? Any other questions? I have a couple if nobody else does. Cool. Just drop them in the chat if you guys have any other questions. But I was wondering, from your perspective, are there any like small business brands out there, and you could even talk about, you know, the ones you guys have worked with that really stand out from others or really making a splash in whatever industry they're in? And I don't know if you guys have looked into any like realtors on Instagram, if there are any that stick out to you that have a really good, you know, feed, or just any examples of really good branding that they could kind of get some inspo from. And Josh, you could even like text me them too if you guys see some like later on that I could share with them.
Okay.
But no.
I do know some. So there's one in particular I know. Where's the camera? Her name is Gloria White. She is a realtor for North & Co. I love her because she really is just treating her Instagram like this is my life, and very organically introducing like real estate content, not in a salesy way, not like this is my like realtor page, just very much in an organic way. Logan will drop her, he just dropped it in the
Instagram handle.
I think that was a private message though. Someone else can see that, but that's okay. She'll repost it.
Yeah.
Another thing that I love is that she always shows going to Crate and Barrel, like getting my housewarming gift for this like client who just bought their first home, blah, blah, blah. Like sharing the story about the client and like how it's their first home, showing like giving them the housewarming gift, maybe a picture of the gift like in the home. Like it made me want her as my realtor, because I was like, I want a cute like bottle of wine Crate and Barrel gift like when I first buy a home. Just very organic, and I really love her content. And I would say it's not even like very designed personal brand, but it is like everything is cohesive. She uses the same editing on all of her pictures. She is like, she wants to brand herself as like an Arcadia neighborhood expert. She lives in Arcadia, so she posts a lot of Arcadia content. We'll be like just juicing some oranges from my orange trees, like living in Arcadia, you know what I mean? So just really organic. And then there is one more who I will see if I can try to find really quick. He works for the Brokery, which I think is also in Arcadia. And he personal brands himself, gosh, I wish I could remember his name, as kind of a luxury Arcadia realtor. I swore I wrote it down. No, hold on. I'll find it.
You got this.
If I can look for this, if you want to ask another question, just so we
Sure.
can another one.
What else? Does anybody else have any other questions at all? I dropped the handle of Gloria White, who they were just talking about, in the chat. But maybe guys go into a little bit as far as like cohesiveness. Like, how do you achieve that? How do you achieve a cohesive feel without having to design everything?
Yeah, a lot of that comes down to just like the type of content you are shooting. So even if you're doing like a picture, you have to scatter the content. You can't do like selfie, 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 testimonial, like picture of my dog. You know what I mean? You really got to plan ahead, which sucks because you want to be like in the moment and authentic and organic, but
It's a good place for stories.
It's a good place for stories. Put that selfie with your dog, but also plan ahead. Use similar editing style in all of your photos, even the colors in your photos. Like you could, if you love like,
and your brand.
And that's what I'm saying, like greenery, whatever, like shoot with greenery if green is one of your colors, like keeping those colors in without just it all being like designed out graphics, but just trinkling it in throughout the feed so that when people look at it, they're like, oh, I see it. I see the colors. I see the vibe, what it's all about. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add to that?
Really the 2 to 3 colors that you'll, once you figure out how the approach you want to take to designing your personal brand, those are just a really easy way to trinkle in that cohesiveness throughout your feeds and across platforms too. Like your banner photo might be like one color of your brand with like the text written in the other color of your brand. And
everything just needs to be cohesive literally across everything.
But yeah,
also, I found that guy. So he's real estate at the Brokery. Braden Cooley. Okay, it's hard to give you an idea, but he has like incredible photography, first of all, which I don't expect everyone to like have that, but I think his girlfriend shoots his photos. So if you could find y'all selves someone to take photos for you, or us, we'll shoot your photos.
We drop the handle.
Yeah, just drop the handle in it. He's got highlight covers that he probably made in Canva, but it's cohesive. Clearly navy is like his color. I think I see like luxury, I see expensive bars and homes and like wine, what are they called? Not wine, like the huge wine cellar. Mm-hmm. Like clearly there's like a luxury vibe.
I just saw a drone video on his page.
Yeah,
like
he's got drone videos.
Drone footage to show off properties. And
it's just like every post is saying the same thing. Like, I'm a luxury real estate agent or broker. I'm not sure which one he is. And then he has like a picture of the city with a navy box, you know, top 5 reasons to invest, like a helpful post that I'm sure got a lot of saves. Yeah, educational, just on brand, cohesive.
Perfect. I'm so glad you guys had examples.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I already know.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So if you are a real estate agent and you have like an established client base in a particular market, but you're looking to transition into another market, how would you guys recommend easing that transition without losing so much of your like established
original,
but also attracting those new ones?
It'd probably be just like a simple color change to your branding.
Yeah, that is tricky, like maintaining past followers, bringing them into a new era. But I will say that happens a lot of time, like even outside of real estate with like Instagram influencers, like you see them rebrand themselves all the time, like reinvent who they are. It's just a matter of taking them along for the process and not just all of a sudden one day, like don't make it an overnight change. Like don't make it like, this is who I am. And the next day, like, this is me now, like alter ego. But basically taking them along for the ride and just like hoping that they understand that you're growing, and with that your brand grows as well. I mean, that happened with us. Even when we first started, we were Desert Rose Photo and we were just doing photography, but we realized how much more design we wanted to do, and that we didn't want to just limit ourselves by that. So that was just an easy name change, Desert Rose Studio. But we like posted about it and we were like, as our company grows, like we want our like name to always be true to who we are, et cetera, et cetera. So if you just kind of take them along for that ride, they'll feel like they're part of it, and nobody will, you know, unfollow you because they're like, oh, this isn't the Sarah that I used to know. You know what I mean? Just be always like yourself.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I was just thinking like just being really transparent about that transition, and in your content, in your captions, in your blogs, in your copy, whatever it is you're writing, just being very transparent about, you know,
Totally. And even if it's just something that you take, like people who follow your stories along for the ride, like maybe they know like the deets, but the people that just see the posts don't. And it's like further incentive for people to keep up with what's going on in stories. Cause you could be like, oh, for those of you who don't watch my stories, like maybe you should, but this is what's been going on. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh shoot, like I have not been paying attention. I need to get on our stories. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think as a real estate agent or a broker, like the number one thing about being in business is being fully transparent with the people you're dealing with.
Yeah.
That's just another addition to authenticity. And
when people are making that big of an investment in their life, like it's seriously such a huge decision to make. You definitely want to like fully trust whoever you're choosing to help you navigate that.
Transparency is definitely relatable.
Yeah.
That's so true. And I was just going to hit on trust. And I think that's the number one thing with social media is that like you are putting yourself out there and letting people in so that you can build that like trust with them before they even meet you in person. And that's really like what it comes down to is like your social media presence, your digital presence is like your first impression without a doubt. That's your first impression. And people like, if I'm sure, for instance, like when I had started promoting this class and I was saying, you know, Jocelyn Kramer, Logan Kirk from Desert Studio, the first thing they went and did was looked at your Instagram profile, your Facebook or whatever it is. So that's just like our immediate reaction.
They're like, do I want to take this? Let's see. Let's see what their Instagram looks like. Right. Exactly. Totally about first impressions. What was I going to say about that? Yeah, no, I think you covered it. I'm glad that I had examples because I think the two Instagram accounts that we dropped, one of them is definitely more just like everyday lifestyle. Like she's got other stuff going on. She posts about it. Whereas one of them is very much just like, this is my real estate account.
But she's
and
really,
this is what it is.
Gloria White's really community engaged, which is really awesome.
She like her and her husband host like workout groups, like free workout groups in a park in Arcadia, and like they just are very like ingrained in that neighborhood. So if you want to, you know, brand yourself as an expert in a specific school district neighborhood, just start posting that content, and then people will be like, oh, that's what they do.
Totally, 100%. Cool, guys. Any other questions from the audience?
I mean, from all the feedback, it seems
I know, I'm like reading the chat right now.
This
I'm
has
like,
been pretty helpful information.
Yeah.
And after this first contact, I mean, you're more than welcome to reach out to us anytime you want. We are
ask all the questions.
Yeah, ask all the questions.
We hopefully have the answers.
Like Sean asked earlier, we'll definitely help you along with the graphic design aspect if that's what you end up deciding that you need.
Also, I would definitely recommend looking at searching Pinterest for like real estate brand photography or realtor brand photography, just to get an idea of the kind of portraits that you want for marketing materials specifically. Not necessarily like the everyday posting if you're kind of wanting a more like lifestyle approach to your Instagram, but just get an idea of the kind of content that will come in handy for your marketing materials and business cards, all that you can find honestly in Pinterest.
Yeah,
recommend.
Big Pinterest fans over here.
Yes.
All right, guys. So we are a little over 11 o'clock, but I think it was all great information. And thank you so much, you guys, for that amazing presentation. It was so great. I hope you guys all found it helpful. Like I said before, this is just the first in our 6-month series. So our next class is going to be, guys, help me out here. Is it October 13th is our next one? I want to say it's October 13th is our next session. And we're going to be covering a really awesome tool for realtors. Patty, do you mind actually just giving a quick description of that tool to everybody?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Yes, I'm actually just looking at the date to make sure I'm correct on that too. The 13 is correct. So we'll be talking about target marketing, and we have an awesome tool called Title Pro 247 that's really going to help you how to pull information on target marketing. So for example, if you're looking for foreclosures, if you're looking for a certain area that can pull loan to value, what type of occupation, those can come up with phone numbers. If you're looking for a turnover rate on a certain subdivision, that will automatically calculate that turnover rate. Maybe you want to go 6% higher or 10, 12% higher. It will export into an Excel or even labels. So really good stuff. We are having the rep for Title Pro 247 going over that tool. It's free coming from us from Landmark Title. You do get credits per month, but it's just a really great way to target marketing. So I know everybody's doing digital marketing and not a lot of agents are farming right now. So if you wanted to put some money aside and invest just doing that monthly and doing it the correct way where you're not spending money on farming and you don't feel you're going to get a turnover on that, a percentage of that, it's a good way to do it this way. So I hope you guys can all make next month's class. It's going to be some great information, a great tool that you can implement that with your marketing and getting some more leads for you as well. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Patty. So yeah, guys, we're going to be having another class next month. So I hope we'll see you guys all there. So in this 6-month series, like I said, we're going to be doing everything marketing based. So we're going to be talking different tools you can be using, even some of the ones that Jocelyn brought up today, like MailChimp and some of the social media schedulers and stuff like that. We're going to be going over. So look out for those invites, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and short week. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.